On February 3rd, at about 1:30 in the morning, we had officers who were working at the hospital, and we had two individuals that came in for lacerations. They had indicated that something had occurred, but didn't really give us a good location. We had an additional 3 people that came in, also with lacerations. We were able to determine that the fight that caused all this happened at the Bridges Social Club on 2nd Street in the city. From what we were able to gather, there was some type of event on the 3rd floor. There was a large fight that ensued there, and several people were injured. They received lacerations. They all sought medical treatment. They're all non-life-threatening injuries. The incident is currently under investigation, so I can't go into it that much more.
What was the relationship between these individuals? Were they all at the bar together, or was it just an incident that happened that involved random individuals?
We're still looking into that. We're still trying to determine where everyone was when this occurred. It appears that most of the individuals were on the floor, so to speak. So we'll need to investigate that more.
What about the alcohol and/or drug intake? Was there a significant amount in each of their systems?
I won't be able to speak to that right now.
What about safety? The bar owners were telling me that you guys are pretty good about making sure the perimeter is protected and that their bar is protected as well when they take people out.
We had officers in the area. They were there very quickly once we found out where the location was. We didn't have any initial calls to indicate that there were any problems there. Once the victims all showed up at the hospital, indicated where it occurred, we sent officers there very quickly, and everything was secured.
And like we were talking about before, Gabe, management has really been apprehensive in saying that this even happened at their bar at all. Have they been cooperative in helping you guys out with the investigation?
We're still investigating everything to determine where everything occurred, so I can't really say much more than that.
Do you know if there were surveillance cameras on the 3rd floor?
I personally do not know.
Will there be an increased police presence in that area?
Yeah. Do you guys still have that police thing going on?
We do.
I mean, yeah, explain that, because
We have officers who are assigned to the downtown area, to that specific areas. We have different bar owners that contribute a specific amount to have officers working there during the evening hours when the bars are closing and letting out. The officers were in the area. As soon as they were notified that there was an incident, they immediately went there. They've done a lot of good work in the area, and they've been able to assist with keeping crimes that happen outside low, and they've been able to respond to crimes that happen inside the bars very quickly.
What about the victims? Are they expected to recover from their injuries?
Yes, they're non-life-threatening injuries.
Okay.
do you have suspect information at this time?
Not at this time.
You had officers working at Harrisburg Hospital?
Yes.
Are they normally have guys at Harrisburg Hospital?
Yes, on the weekends, yes.
Does that usually help with a quicker response for
Yes.
police? I mean, talk about that. There's like a communication between those officers and officers down here. Talk about how that works.
There's an agreement between UPMC and the Harrisburg Police Department to have officers working there for security purposes. When individuals come in and don't report it normally to police, we have that officer there who can actually let us know that something has occurred and where it occurred at. So as they're dealing with the individual here, we can have officers actually respond to the scene. They also assist when individuals are brought in for that they've been shot, or they get brought in, and we've had in the past prior to officers working there where they just pretty much get dumped at the hospital and no one knows how they got there. So the officers who are working there assist with those things and able to stop and detain anyone who's involved in any which way.